Hello, Skye Taylor here, and welcome to tip number 7 of Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to discuss signatures. Your signature is the most important thing that you'll put on your painting because it tells who you are. Let me tell you a quick little story. There was an artist that painted an absolutely wonderful painting, and he signed it. It hung in a gallery, and a couple came along and wanted to buy it. But the only problem was that the lady could not get used to the way the artist signed the picture. He did a bad job of signing it. So as a result, in the end, to make a short story real long, he ended up losing the sale because of the signature. She wouldn't buy it because of the signature. So your signature is very, very important. Sometimes on paintings, you have to make a judgment call. You look at the painting, and if you think the signature will distract from the painting, what I do is you have a couple of options. If you've painted on a 1.5 inch thick canvas, you can always sign it along the spline. Because chances are a 1.5 inch thick canvas, they'll probably just hang it right on the wall. They're not going to frame it. But always sign it on the back, and you sign it on the back with a Sharpie marker. You sign and you can date it. So it always has a signature, even if you don't sign the spleen or the front of the painting, signing the back of it works too. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you different ways to do it. Now, when I first started out, one of the videos that I did, I had a painter's pen that I highly recommended. It was easier to use this painter's pen to sign the signature than it was to get out the paintbrush and the paint and sit there and meticulously put in a signature. This way it allowed me to be more free because I can write better than I can paint it. I can be quicker about it. It looks more spontaneous, looks more like an artist. Abstract artists, you'd want to have a perfect, beautifully signature. I don't. I want to be crazy. Sign my name like I mean it. So these pens work out great. You can get them at Walmart for a couple of bucks. But the problem that I had with them is that they would always kind of dry out. I might get a couple of paintings out of it, and then I would be reaching for a new one. So to me, it didn't tend to be too cost effective. I don't know if they're not putting enough ink in them or what the deal is. But until I could have figured out another way, I never really thought about it till of recently. And I came up with some different ideas. You can get these painting bottles at Hobby Lobby. They're $2.99. Use the coupon online and get 40% off or whatever they have. But they're little bitty bottles, and they have tips with them, and you can fill them with paint, and you can write your signature. And I'm going to tell you all about these bottles and how to use them and create some great signatures. There's other things, too, that you can do. Now, you can buy these tips. You can get them at Walmart in the artist section. And also, they have these acrylic tubes of paint. Now, what's neat about this is you can put these tips on these bottles and you can write with them and design with them. Opens up a whole new area of creativity by using these bottles. Because even if you've painted a great painting, you need to add lines in it to make your abstract pop. You can use this to draw lines and directions. A lot of fun. You ought to get this. You should always have in your arsenal one black and one white if you don't even have any other colors. Because these you can also use to fill up the little bottles. You can use these paints to fill up the little bottles. Now what I would highly recommend, what I do, is I'll always add my gel medium. You know me. I'm a big fan about gel medium. So I'll put some in the bottle and shake it up. So it's always in there, just enough. And then you can fill up these bottles. Now another thing you can do if you want to create great lines, don't rule out your dollar store. For a buck, you can get ketchup and mustard bottles. Now what's great about these is you can fill them with house paint. Yep, and create different lines, drips. Oh my God, you can have so much fun with them. Just don't leave them on the cabinet or where somebody thinks they're ketchup and mustard and ends up with a paint sandwich. Not too cool. Especially if they end up with black teeth, you know, because you put black paint in it. But there's just a lot of great things you can do with these. They're just so much fun, inexpensive, house paint and gel medium. You shake them up. So that's what we have for right now. Now I'm going to show you actually how to use these little bottles and little tips and tricks on how to use these to sign your signature. 1 second, folks. Gotta have my coffee. Then peek over my shoulder and we'll show you what to do. Good stuff. Okay, we got our squeeze bottles here. I just want to tell you something. It comes with a little package of metal tips. Now, the secret to open this is automatically you would think is cut it open. But at the very bottom, if you look at the bottom, you can open it at the very bottom. So you can reuse this package. It has a little bit of glue, a little bit of sticky stuff on it. So you can reseal it so you don't lose your tips. Great idea. Okay, let's put down our tip, and here's how you open up the bottle. You unscrew the cap, and you have to pull this little plug out. Oops, there you go, just like that. So you have the cap and the bottle. Now what you're going to do is you're going to fill it with paint. Let's see what we got here. I go around this way. This is always fun. Squeeze it in. Oops. Oh boy. Not fun to do. Made more of a mess on me than I got in the bottle. Okay, that ain't gonna work. Okay, we're gonna do take two. You know, necessity is the mother of invention. I had to think about this for a minute, how to fill this little bottle up. Not easy. It ends up making a great big mess if you do it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this tip on first, put that on the bottle, and then fill that bottle up. Makes more sense to me. Okay, let's open up the package. I got it open. Here's the tip. Let's try this again. Boy, did I make a mess. Black paint is terrible, I'll tell you. Okay, let's try this. Hopefully this will screw on. Yep, there you go. Screws on really good. Okay, we got a little micro hole. This should work now. So we'll fill it up. See how that fits in? That's the way to do it. Oh yeah. Looks like it's going to take a little bit of time because it's squeezing out little bits at a time. But you know what? No mess. And I am actually filling up the bottle. Okay, we got the bottle all filled up. And you take the little cap and you put it on the top like that. And you put the, excuse my left hand, folks. You put the little metal top on. Just like this. Okay. Let's see if I can do this here. Now, like anything, it takes practice. You have to practice. I would highly suggest that you practice on paper. Let's see if I can do this. You don't have to even squeeze that much. See? Just like that. Too much coffee, a little shaky, but you get the idea. There you go. Okay, you can also probably use this bottle too, but what I would highly suggest is probably buy the smaller bottle. You can get usually these in the craft section at Walmart. Get the tips, the smaller bottle, easier to write than this bigger bottle, but this bigger bottle is more cost effective. Let's see if I can do some justice here. Just lightly squeezing it, and like anything else, folks, it takes practice. You got to just practice. Okay, there you go. This would probably be better for bigger paintings. You know, this type of a tip. The other one is good for smaller paintings. But the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. And it's more cost effective than the marking pens. But there you have it, and that's with this. Now you can use all different types of colors, whites, red. What I would highly suggest is to buy a bottle of the black, white, and maybe red. Okay, now you're going to have to clean the metal tip when you're finished with it, and then cap this bottle up. So here's how you do it. You take this tip off, just like that, and you will have a bottle of clear water in this one. You'll put the cap, the metal cap on there, take a cup and squeeze it through a couple of times till the water is clear. This way you're cleaning your tip, see? Okay, and there you go. That's how you can clean your tip. So it doesn't jam up with paint, and it's ready for the next time. You take it off and you store it back in the pouch. Okay, there you have it. When you're done with your bottle, don't forget to cap it up. You take the tip off and cap it up, and you're good for the next time. The one that has water in it, you might want to write with a Sharpie marker water, so you remember that this is the one that contains the water, and this will be the designated bottle to clean those tips. This one too, you got to clean this tip, take it off, run it under water, return the cap. We'll do that a little bit later on. Okay, what other ways can you sign a painting? Well, when the painting is still wet, in the right hand corner, sign it with the back of the brush. Really easy. The object is that when you're doing a signature, you don't want it to stand out. In other words, the signature should not be the main focal point of the painting. When somebody stands back and looks at it, you don't want their eyes to go right to your signature. You want them to enjoy your painting. Then go looking for your signature. So signatures have to be somewhat subdued. That's why I say that if it's 1.5 inches, write it on the side. Or if you think that your signature is going to detract from the painting itself and you don't want to write it on the side. Now, 3/4 inch, you don't write it on the side. You write it either on the front or on the back. If you feel your signature is going to detract from your painting, just sign it on the back. Safer. You don't want to detract from your work of art. So I guess that's about all for today. I'm going to enjoy my coffee, and we'll see you on the next tips and tricks. And don't forget, if you like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers, folks.